Hi there, my name is Jason Van Vlymen and I'm a firefighter paramedic with Pasadena Fire Department. This video will discuss the aspects of fire prevention and specifically the risk reduction topic of arson prevention. I will also discuss fire prevention research that supports this subject and the effects of departmental influences. I will then discuss strategies and programs that pertain to arson. The definition of arson is a criminal act of deliberately setting fire to property. The aspect of fire prevention is to simply stop this act before it happens. The National Fire Safety Council is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to the safety of children. In order to prevent arson, education must be involved to understand the devastating effects fire has. Arson prevention also stimulates children to report arson to the authorities. The National Fire Safety Council developed a book that is catered to young children called Official Fire Safety Manual, Fire Pups USA Venture. The topics include fire prevention, arson, and how to report a fire. According to the 2002 Handbook on Fire Setting in Children and Youth by David Kolko, in 1998, juvenile fire setters accounted for 52% of arson arrests. It was also determined that 34% of all arson was committed by persons under 15 years of age. Data from the National Fire Incident Reporting System also concluded that the majority of adolescent injury and death are related to playing with fire. In the year 2000, the Federal Emergency Management Agency published Juvenile Fire Setter Intervention Handbook. This intervention started with parents and illustrated the psychological and other aspects of arson. Other aspects that include arson are culture, social economic status, cognitive awareness, child abuse, neglect, and domestic violence. It is imperative that children are taught at a young age how destructive the force of fire is. Children often are able to have a reason behind their actions, however, they can have a motivation. Adolescents are apt to act out behaviors rather than discuss them like adults would. The key to prevention is to identify the motive that might set forth the action. Education about fire setting behavior and fire itself is one of the greatest tools available. This is also the foundation of every fire treatment program. A successful fire setting program needs to be dynamic and address the many different aspects that influence behavior. 4 types of fire setting behaviors have been identified. These include curiosity, crisis precipitated, delinquency related, and pathological. These 4 motives may also be a combination. Intervention programs also have 6 distinct characteristics. These include a qualified instructor know-how, an instructor ways, instructor means, family involvement, ongoing involvement to prevent relapse, and a network of professionals in place. A good teacher is key. One that can relate and teach appropriately to the target audience. The teacher must have experience and be able to get the target audience's level. Some teaching models use a team approach that utilize public safety officials. This can be beneficial because various approaches might be necessary for different audiences. Counselors and teachers must also have the correct teaching aids and include relevant, realistic materials. Parents and caregivers also need to be proactive and support the program and the condition of fire fascination appropriately. There needs to be accountability with appropriate consequences. Ongoing evaluation must also be conducted with documentation and data before and after the intervention. A network of professionals ensures that the appropriate interventions are conducted according to the dynamics involved, as mentioned prior, such as age, cognitive ability, and so forth. Today, most of the information about youth arson comes from National Fire Protection Association, the National Fire Incident Reporting System, and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Unfortunately, there's a lack of research to this problem. This therefore limits the ability of programs to address the problem specifically. There is no database to measure the attraction to fire. This is a very complex subject with very limited tools to predict and prevent arson before it happens. A definite link has been determined to link arson with abuse and neglect regarding young children. Identifying this leak early may also help with the solution to prevent arson. Another link that is identified is the fascination of fire. This can include singed carpet, hidden matches, lighters, and even melted action figures. These are pivot points that some sort of intervention needs to take place. In closing, the NFPA has also progressed with NFPA 1035. This is the standard for fire service personnel to provide juvenile fire-centered intervention. This is the first step towards reducing adolescent arson behavior before it is a standard that can be followed with quantifiable results, giving professionals a platform and foundation to be successful. Utilizing tools of education, appropriate teaching aids, and professionals, including firefighters, arson and adolescent fire-related injury and death can be reduced. Thank you.